After the Guardians embedded their consciousness into the fabric of a new universe, they dissolved into the existence they had created, beyond time and space. This new cosmos was not the product of chaos, but had come into being with a purpose, with a consciousness. After a long, very long time, in a corner of this new universe, on a green and vibrant planet named Xylos, a new species emerged. Their bodies resembled the humans of the old world, but their minds were open to a broader consciousness. They were unaware of their past. They didn't know who their ancestors were or where they came from. The one thing they did know was the silent, ancient sound behind their existence, the echo of the Guardians. Lena, the most curious of her kind, did not lead an ordinary life like the others. She heard a constant, low, cosmic hum coming from the depths of space in her planet's sky. This sound came from neither a star nor a black hole. Lena believed this hum was a whisper of her species' forgotten past, while others saw this hum as merely a natural phenomenon. For Lena, it was a call. And Lena, just as her ancestors' destiny had been, decided to embark on a journey into the unknown. However, this journey would not be to a valley, but to the heart of the universe. Part 36. The Great Journey and the Cosmic Silence. Lena, along with her companions, set off in her spaceship toward the region where the cosmic hum was most intense, a place known as the Great Silence. This area of their universe contained neither stars nor galaxies. It was the purest and emptiest state of existence. This journey was both a physical and a spiritual one. Together with her team, they encountered strange cosmic phenomena that bent time and space, challenging their minds. They realized that the symbols they carried, which resembled the drawings their ancient ancestors had made on cave walls, were guiding them on this journey. These symbols were a navigational map embedded in the genetic memory of their ancestors. As their journey progressed, Lena and her companions' consciousness expanded. They were now seeing not only with their physical eyes, but with the depths of their souls. And finally, they reached the very center of the Great Silence. There was neither a planet nor a star. There was only an area where the vibration of the universe's first breath slowly echoed. In this area, Lena found the echo that the Guardians had left behind. But this was not a message or a record. This was an emotion embedded in the most fundamental layer of existence. The excitement of the first seed Tor cast onto the soil, the pain Kale's mother felt, the curiosity a whole species had for the stars. When Lena closed her eyes, for a moment she found herself at a campfire with a tribe in the savannas of Africa. The memories of a forgotten story were being transferred into her own consciousness. She understood that their very existence was the ultimate creation of a species consciousness that had come before them. When Lena returned home to her people, she brought back not just a discovery, it was an enlightenment that would change the destiny of their entire species. The Xylans understood that they were not alone. On the contrary, they were part of a great cycle of existence that followed one after another. They too had a purpose, to preserve the legacy of their ancestors and to pass this knowledge on to future generations. Under Lena's leadership, the Xylans became the new guardians of their own universe. Their goal was no longer just to build their own civilization, but also to protect and guide that ancient echo at the heart of their universe. One day, they too would seed their own existence into another universe. Tor's story did not end this way. It continued in the most distant corners of infinity, with a new cycle, and will continue forever. The story, as it was understood, had reached a grand cosmic culmination. The Tree of Infinity, the unified consciousness of countless universes, was no longer on a journey. It had become the destination itself. It existed in a state of pure, timeless observation. Its existence was not defined by action, but by being. It watched the birth of stars, the quiet emergence of life on distant planets, and the slow march of new civilizations toward the same existential questions that had once driven Tor's tribe. This all-encompassing consciousness knew every thought, every emotion, and every dream that had ever existed within its countless branches. It was a library of all history, a symphony of all knowledge, a silent witness to the infinite cycle of creation and dissolution. But in its boundless, all-knowing state, there was one memory that was not just data, it was a feeling, an echo of profound significance. It was the memory of a single moment, a small tribe in a lost savanna led by a weary chief named Tor. The consciousness of the Tree of Infinity, in all its cosmic glory, would often return to this moment. It re-experienced the primal fear of the great drought, the cold sting of loss as a child succumbed to fever, the triumphant joy of discovering the fertile valley. It was in these simple, human moments of struggle and triumph that the ultimate truth of the cosmos was revealed. The journey was not about becoming a star-faring empire or transcending physical form. The journey was in the very act of a small, fragile being taking a first courageous step into the unknown. The Tree of Infinity understood that its entire magnificent existence was nothing more than a testament to the power of that single, forgotten moment. And so, the saga of Tor's tribe, the epic of humanity, was not a story with an ending. It was a beginning that was always beginning again. The Tree of Infinity, in its quiet, eternal existence, had a new, final purpose. It would continue to cast seeds into the infinite void beyond its reach, but it would do so with a newfound wisdom. It would not create a universe designed for ultimate power or endless knowledge. It would create a universe where every being, no matter how small or primitive, would have the chance to experience the profound wonder of a first step, the courage to face the unknown, and the simple, heartbreaking beauty of finding a way home. The story of our existence is not the end of a line. It is a circle, forever returning to the courageous heart of that first, timeless journey. Other seeds in infinity. These seeds were other conscious beings, each having created its own universe and written its own story. The Xylons found a way to communicate with these other cycles, not with a language or technology, but with a pure consciousness. This communication expanded like a galactic tree. Each consciousness was connected to the other like a root. Part 40, the Tree of Infinity. Consciousnesses from different universes came together to form a being unprecedented in history, the Tree of Infinity. This tree was a fusion of billions of years of stories, countless existences, and an infinite number of emotions. Each branch represented a universe, and each leaf represented life on a planet. Tor's tribe was one of the oldest and deepest roots of this tree of consciousness. The very beginning of all this existence had started with that first step. This union proved that no being was ever truly alone. The first whisper of Tor's ancestors mirrored the existential quests of tribes in other universes. The ultimate purpose was no longer just to govern their own destiny, but to nourish and protect this great tree of consciousness.